Hello, hello, crafty friends. Welcome to week 5 of my 8-week Christmas card making series. Stacy here, Crafty Diva USA. Thank you so much for joining me, and thank you for sticking around all these weeks. We are on week 5 of 8. So today, what I have for you is a envelope fun fold gift card holder. I said that right. Envelope fun fold gift card holder. Super fun. It's going to be really quick to put together, and you are going to be super surprised. You can duplicate this, replicate it for any holiday, any gift giving project. You know me, I love to give little gifties with my gift cards because I like to give gift cards, but I think they should come in a fun little package. So the DSP I'm using today is the Peaceful Gardens. It's absolutely gorgeous, and the glimmer paper that coordinates with it, again, another showstopper. That glimmer paper is right here. You get 6 sheets, 3 different shades, and it's 165929. And then here is the DSP pack. I'm not going to go into that. I did a card class on this in the beginning of the month. You can find that on my channel. I go through all the papers and everything. But for today, I want to go through all of the cutting guide with you. Well, actually, I want to go through the dimensions, but let you know that you can get this cutting guide right in the description. Again, I appreciate all the support. Everyone who likes my channel, shares my videos. So please continue to do that. I'm trying to grow my channel. So I appreciate all the love. Thank you so much. And leave a comment. I'd love to know where you're watching me from. And I am on the east coast of Central Florida, so I am by the beach here. I love it, and I'd love to know where you're watching from. Okay, so you can find this again. My cutting guide here. I put some color pictures for you. I actually link the video so you can come back and find this video if you're putting this together at a later date. Supplies I use to create my project here, some simple cutting directions and some basic assembly directions. And again, this is super, super easy. All right, let me show you this envelope fun fold gift card holder. And again, it's using your simple A2 size envelope. We all have A2 size envelopes, and hopefully the one you're using is the same dimension as mine. You never know, but the ones I use are 5 3/4 by 4 3/8. So that's what my dimensions are going to work for you with using my cutting guide. But let me say something. This will work on a 5 by 7, any type envelope you have. Just find your center of your envelope and then measure everything else accordingly. It's super simple. There's just a few pieces here that this requires, and you'll see as we go along. But let me show you how fun this is. This ribbon is gorgeous, and then it opens like a bifold here. I love this. And then we have a fun surprise. You have this card that pulls out, and let me show you. So I have my always popular hotel key card, right? This is the same as a gift card. I just put a little bit of tape on the back, but you just use a simple glue dot, right? That instantly fits on our card there, and then all you do is it goes back inside. Super fun, right? So you can make this for birthdays, any holiday. I left more room over here. If you wanted to add another piece of white cardstock to write a message, you certainly can do that. You can eliminate this stamp and write a message here. This is just a simple design for you then to go and create it your own. So let's go through some of the cutting so you can craft along here with me. Again, you're going to need an A2 size envelope, and then to create that inside pocket here to the left, I use that beautiful glitter cardstock, and this is cut at 2 3/4 by 4 1/4, and then I'm layering that here with a beautiful piece of that DSP, and that is cut at 2 1/2 by 4. And then for my front panels here, this time I'm not going to use Misty Moonlight. I'm going to use Cloud Cover for my base. So this is cut at 2 3/4 by 4 1/4, and you're going to need 2 of those. Okay, and then my DSP panels, you're also going to need 2 of those, and they're cut at 2 1/2 by 4. And then for our pull-out card here, I used cloud cover, and this is 2 3/4 by 4 1/4, and then my basic white is 2 1/2 by 4. All right, then I used a piece of scrap for that pull tab there. And that again was just a piece of scrap, and that came from my Festive Friends die set right there. So in this cute little project here, I'm using several sets. I'm also using Jolly Holly. That's where I got my Merry Christmas sentiment, and then the sentiment for the front of my card. You see that there. Also from my stash, I'm using traditional labels and my Just For You. That's on my pull-out card that you see. There goes my microphone. All right, we're good. Just For You is the stamp set, and that came from traditional labels. And then finally, I did not use the Peace on Earth stamp set. I only used the 2 frames from actually I used pretty much all the dies. I used the 2 frames dies. I used both of the doves, and I used the branch here. So let me show you, and I just cut all that out using some scrap, so I don't necessarily have dimensions for you on those. So I did cut out this from the DSP, and then here are my dies. So I have 2 branches using the basic white, and I cut a dove from cloud cover, the same dove in the basic white, and then the other dove in the basic white. And then here are those frames. Here is the smaller frame. I think I used about what was that, 2 by 4 on this to make the cloud cover, and then on the larger label, I believe this was 2 1/2 by 4 1/2 to do that. All right, so let me get my dies out of the way, and let's bring in, let's see, did I go over everything with you? Yes, I did. So again, I'm only using Secret C 1 ink pad that I need for this project. I'm using that absolutely beautiful, you must get this before it's no longer available, Misty Moonlight ribbon 165931. I just love how it has that silver accent. It's absolutely gorgeous. So I'm using ribbon. I have my snips. I have both sets with me, ones that I use for adhesive and then ones for cutting ribbon. I have my tape runner. I'm going to be using some tear and tape, just a little bit, nothing much. And I have my tweezer. We all need a good, super sharp tweezer. It's my 3rd hand. All right, so let's bring in our paper trimmer, because our paper trimmer also scores, and we are going to have to take that 5 3/4 and meet that in the middle, and it's 2 7/8. So I am going to score with my flap up. So I need to score this at 2 7/8. Okay. Now what we are going to do, you're going to lift the flap up, and we are going to trim off, you're going to trim off the right side up to your score line. So let me bend that. So up to there, you're going to cut the left side off, and you're going to adhere the right side. I'm sorry, you're going to cut the right side off and adhere the left side down. I'm looking at my monitor, and like, your side is different than my side. But anyway, right side over here, you're going to cut off, left side is going to adhere down. And we just scored that in the middle of the envelope. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. If you want to trim that off using your paper trimmer, or if you want to do it freehand with your snips, however you want to do that, I'm going to cut down the middle here with my snips. And I want to have a nice clean cut, so I am going to cut it off using my paper trimmer. So I want to have a nice trim there. Okay. All right, so that's what you need to do. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take some of my seal, and just like I said, we're just going to adhere this side down. We just don't need anything over here, so we can just get on with it and get that closed up. All right, let me zoom in just a little bit. All right, so now, we we made our score mark, right? So there's our score mark. Hard to see on a white envelope, but it's there. All right, so now what we're going to do is we are just going to take our phone folder, just give that a nice burnish and a nice crease. Okay, perfect. So that's closed up right there. Here's our pocket right here. So if I took my card of my finished one, now you can just create this, design it however you'd like, right? I have a little bit of an overhang. See that little bit there? I'm going to snip that off because that is going to bother me. So I'm going to snip that little perfect. Perfect. Okay. So let me put my completed project back away. And now we are just going to assemble a little bit, but there is a little bit of a trick, especially to do our front panels. So let's get our, well, we're not going to stamp the envelope yet. I guess we can. Let's get our stamping out of the way. We can absolutely get our stamping out of the way. So you're going to want, listen, I always do process of elimination, right? Let's try to get the hard stuff out of the way or easier stuff out of the way, whichever way you look at it. I'm going to take my Merry Christmas, which is going to be stamped on the inside of my card. And then my sentiment here is going to go on the small frame. So let's first do Merry Christmas. So if you look at my completed project where I have the Merry Christmas, just kind of right there, because you're going to put your dove at the bottom there. So let's get that nice and inked up. Okay. And now I'm going to my other sentiment and try to get that right square in the center as best I could. I think that looks pretty good. Great. All right. I have my Stampin' Mist and Stampin' Scrub right over here. Clean my stamps real quick. Okay. Now, moving on. Just get this out of the way. So that's really it as far as stamping goes. Now, let's start building the inside here. So I'm going to get my DSP and my glitter, and green glue works for adhering glitter to paper. You know, I know some don't adhere well, but the green glue works perfect for our glitter cardstock at least. And I know Glue Dots works. Okay, so all you want to do is adhere these two together, and then that's going to go on your inside right there. And use liquid glue here, or you can use tear and tape, whatever you feel more comfortable with. I'm just using liquid glue in case I need to move it around a little. It's hard to see this white envelope for some reason today. All right, that is down. All right, now we forgot one more stamp, and I don't even have it loaded up on my block here, but I need the Just For You. Let me grab that. Here it is. One more stamp. I forgot about that one. I apologize. And that we just have, yep, just in the corner right there, off to the side. So I need my Secret C. I love the Secret C. Love it. Excellent color. All right, so just off to the side here. All right, now we could adhere these two together. I'll just use my seal for that. Okay. All right, so far so good. Now let's create the ribbon and how we're going to do that. So now you're going to take face down. So you want to open and put your panels so far the inside facing down on your work surface. And I would say probably at least 26 plus inches. So let's say, let me move over just a little bit. So if I had about, that looks about good. So if I doubled that, I want to try to give you a right amount of ribbon. And I'm definitely okay. So yeah, right on, spot on, 26 inches. That's what I'm going to use. So I'm going to cut this off, and that's okay. Oh, I used the wrong scissors. That's okay. If you have extra, I'd rather overuse, and have extra and have to cut some off than not have enough. So what you want to do here is you want to adhere that down. So you can take the easy way out and throw some tape over this, some Scotch tape. If again, this is like the crafter's cheat, the best thing ever. So if you just want to make that super tight, just put a piece there, try to even it off. And a piece there. Really, that's all you got to do, because you're going to cover, you're going to have some panels covering this, right? So now what I like to do as I continually build this, just want to burnish it a little bit, because as you're getting it thicker and adding more layers to it, it might be harder to close. All right, so now let's grab those panels since we're here and continue to build. All right, so let's adhere both of our panels. Like I said, I'm going to use cloud cover on this one. So just put some seal together with this DSP gorgeous, gorgeous paper. Love these blues and like grays, how they come together. And whites. There's a lot of beautiful colors in this palette. And then other colors that coordinate with lots of colors in these palettes so that you can design your own. Okay, so then what I do is I look at both panels and I'm like, meet, which is the best? That's going to be the front, and that's this one. Okay, so figure out my front is right here. So now, if you want to use some heavy duty tear and tape here, I love my tear and tape. This is 1/2 inch. So I'm just going to use tear and tape. I don't know why I love tear and tape, but I do. All right, and now you want to just pull the backing off and then adhere your front panel. So next week is probably going to be a card sketch, another simple card sketch. We'll see. I've been trying every week to do card sketch, gifty, card sketch, gift card holder. We'll see what I make next week. I have 3 weeks left, and I got to get a project in here because I need to make something for the people in work. So maybe we'll make some, I don't know. I have to think of a project. So within these next 3 weeks. Okay, my other panel. If you have any ideas, let me know. If you're part of my private Facebook group, let me know. Send me a message or post it in there if there's something you want me to make. Okay. All right, so we have our panels, right, coming along. All right, I think now let's get to doing, adding some of our elements here. So let's get our cloud covered dove adhered right there. I'm going to use liquid glue because the wings are pretty delicate. I don't want to push on anything. I think my green glue is, oh no, it's not. I thought it was going out. Okay. So pretty. Just adhere that right there. Okay, next, let's grab our card here and let's grab this piece. Now, when this cuts out, you have those two cutouts there. And let me show you what I did. See, I put the adhesive and I just put them back in. And I think I'm going to do the same thing on this one. Otherwise, the white's going to show through. And although that's not bad, I guess. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, we have to score this in half. So this measures 2 1/4. So that scores at 1 1/8. So I just want to bring in my trimmer real quick and score this at 1 1/8. 1 1/8. Okay. I don't want to cut. Hold on, I gotta lift that over. Okay. 1 1/8. Okay. So see, just in half. And the way I did that to get that adhesive there is I used, of course, my 1/2-inch tear and tape, just a little piece. I'll show you what I did. So I put a little piece, it fits perfectly right here. And I covered that, so that's going to be sticky, so I can pop in that little star. You'll see. You'll see. I'll show you. Okay, so I kind of want to get this in the center where I want it. And then right about there, just eyeballing it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of those little stars. Here they are, these little tiny stars, and pop it. See right there? That's sticky right there. I'm going to pop it right in. Let me show you. It's like that. All right, now I'm going to do the same thing on this side. That just makes your pull tab. Sweet. Okay. You're almost done. Thanks so much for hanging with me. All right. Now we need, what's next? What's next? Next. All right. Did we do mention here? Okay. So easier to work with this open flat on your surface. This frame right here went flat down. So you can use seal here, whatever tickles your fancy. All right. So we are going to try to center that. No, first thing, I almost missed. I did put my adhesive. Wonderful. That's what we wanted to do. Now you want to take those two branches. We want a little bit peeking out at the top, a little bit peeking out at the bottom, going opposite ends of one another. Let me show you. Just a little smidge. Just a little smidge right there and right there. So really you can cut this if you want, if you prefer to use Scotch tape, but I'm just going to eyeball it and I'm just going to put a little bit right there, just like that. And another one out the bottom. Just like that. Okay. Now, if you didn't have your adhesive already, you could have lined that up, but that's fine if you do it that way. So just a little bit poking out right there. Cute. All right. So now my frame here, I'm going to use some dimensionals and pop that up. Absolutely pop that up. Every project needs dimension and glitter, but not loose glitter, right? We all know my rule, not loose glitter in my craft room. Okay. So now we are going to layer that beautifully right on top of one another. And now our final two, so let's close this up. And I'll bring in my darker card here with the Misty Moonlight backing. front panels and then my cloud cover. I love it. I think they both look beautiful. But finally, I'm going to, let's just close this up so you can just see how pretty. Make a bow. And again, 26 inches might be very long. You can absolutely cut down. But like I said, I'd rather have a pretty bow and waste a little bit of ribbon than not have enough. So I can absolutely cut here. So let me measure how much, so you don't have to waste your ribbon. 4, 7. So I said, what did I say? About 26 inches. So about 21, 22 inches is definitely enough ribbon. Okay, so now that we have that closed and there's the inside, what I want to do is take these 2 doves. Now on this card, look at how beautiful I have the wings. This one, not so much, but this one, yes. And all I did was I took my stylus right here. So take anything, or here, I have this pickup. This is actually even better. Take something that's kind of not so thick. Look at, that's pretty thin, right? And all I did was round lightly. See? It's just round up. Now, obviously, if you're going to put this in a card or something, that's going to get flat, but that's okay. And now you just want it, you know, the body just line up where you kind of want to put it so it's not going off your project. And then you just know where you need some glue, adhere some glue there. So I just put it right on the body in the middle. And then that's where you would adhere him down. Just like that. Okay. And you can also put like a glue dot, not a glue dot, a dimensional under here if you wanted that to sit right on it. But I'm fine just having a little piece of adhesive right there. And now just for this guy, again, if you wanted to curl up those wings a little bit, just the tips maybe of the feathers, you can do that. But he's going to more sit kind of at the top, right about there. And you know, you're going to get a little bit off the card. That's totally okay because this is smaller. And now you can put this inside of an envelope if you're going to mail it. Or a pretty presentation for this would be to put it in a clear envelope and then like attach it hanging to the side of a gift bag. You know, if you're going to give it in person, I wouldn't necessarily cover it completely up. Okay, so I have a little bit of adhesive here. Great. And then you can absolutely finish it off with a few gems if you prefer. But I think, let me clean up my desk space so when I zoom out just a little bit, you don't get like, look at her desk is a mess. All right, but I think I'll keep this one closed so you can see and this one open. I think this made for a super fun project. I hope you enjoy today's week 5 of my 8-week card making series. Don't forget to pick up your tutorial down in the description and leave me a comment, leave me a like, and I appreciate you following along. And I will see you next week for week 6. We are just chugging along, everybody. Take care and have a wonderful, crafty rest of your day or evening wherever you are in the world. Take care now.